Hey guys, Carr with 2.0. Hey, we're going to talk about hog attacks and how to make the most out of hog attacks on Town Hall 9. But hey, before we get into hogs, we got to talk about things that destroy your hogs and things to look out for. And this is a little different than probably most videos and help things you've looked at. It seems like most guys are looking at how to just avoid spaces. We're going to look at how to look at this just a little differently. So when we're looking at Town Hall 9 bases, one of the first things we want to look at is things that are going to kill your hogs. This is really kind of in priority. You end up with, well, a backup. So most people look at bases and they're looking at all these open spaces, looking for something compact, lots of compartments. You know what? We're going to look at that differently, because if you have max hogs, a double bomb's not going to kill them anyway. It's just going to take away some of their hit points. You put a heal spell on it and they're back good to go. So what we're looking at is things that kill your hogs, which is going to be the clan castle and that archer queen. Those are the two biggest things that kill your hogs. The next level from there is starting to really look at the Barb King, these crossbows, splash effects from wizard towers, skeleton traps. Those are going to be a big one. We're going to come to that here in a minute, but certainly clan castle troops and archer queen are the two biggest foes to have to deal with. So one of the things you really want to focus on is your luring. You're not trying to just lure or look at bases where the archer queen's centered up by that clan castle. You want to be able to lure her out. So in this case, you find one near an edge or something you can actually kill her with. That's going to be a good base that you can probably get in and hit a 3 with that hog attack. So trying to get that clan castle, we're going to try and use a poison spell on it. I'm going to show how that works in this particular attack. We're actually going to show 2 raids in this video, so you get to kind of see Wonky hit 2 different town hall bases. Both these are actually playing up from what he normally does in a war, so this turns out pretty good. So what he's going to look at doing is trying to find a way to first lure that clan castle troop. Usually you can use a giant. I hate to really use hogs and hog attacks, but usually use a giant, draw those clan castle troops out, and then find a way to bring them over, or actually use a poison spell on them right there, or bring them over with that archer queen. In this case, his lure doesn't work. His giant gets after it from the start, so you always got to have a backup plan. This is really important. You don't want to just start getting spazzy and just start dumping troops everywhere. So what his plan was with the archer queen is to go ahead and use a golem in his clan castle, let that go to distract her and that crossbow, use a couple whizzes to come in and go ahead and start cleaning things up. The thing really important here is he's counting on his heroes to provide support. So we don't want those guys going on a field trip. So we use these wizards to go ahead and get these outer elixir store pumps out of the way, so that they're going to be focused and funneled on following in on that archer queen and that expo. And these are going to be the same troops that are going to take out whatever's remnant or remaining from that clan castle. So we're going to let this run here in a second. You're going to see those clan castle troops come out, and the minute they do, Wonky's going to drop one of these poison spells, which are just great. This is a level 1 poison spell, which means it does a couple hundred points of damage, which will kill wizards, archers, basically anything other than giants, valks, loons, things of that nature. So here in this first part of this lure, he's already taken out the archer queen. Golem's moving in. It's going to trip. So right here, you're going to start seeing the clan castle troops come out. They immediately get zapped by that poison spell. So those max whizzes, max archers, you're going to see those just die to nothing. So the only thing that Wonky or any attacker is going to be left with in this case are going to be the high hit point level folks. In this case, it's usually loons or a valk or someone like that. So you're going to see all these guys just get drained by that poison. That leaves that loon to basically just be sniped by that archer queen and some whizzes, and then he's good to go. At this point, archer queen's gone, clan castle troops are going to be gone, and he'll be able to start now looking at the rest of the base on how to best attack this with his max hogs. So, as we come out and look at this, there's a couple other things on here. So we're looking at splash effects from these wizard towers. We're looking at the expos is doing the most damage, so we want to get that expo out of the way ASAP. That first expo already got taken out by our archer queen and luring troops. Now, one of the things I like to do and Wonky likes to do is bring in your hogs from 2 different directions. I'm not a fan of just bringing in one line. I like to bring in kind of 2 different main lines, and the reason for that is I do want to trip as many traps as possible. There's going to be a spring trap. There's going to be something else. You want those just to take out a couple hogs, not a whole bunch. The minute they come in, sure enough, they trip a big double bomb. I want you to see what happens, and it's hard to see here. It immediately goes off, takes out some of their hit points, doesn't actually kill any of the hogs. And that's what the benefit of these max hogs. So you don't worry about double bombs. You're not worried about spaces. If you're looking at level 4 or less hogs, those double bombs will absolutely zap your hog. So this is really for max hogs on the Town Hall 9. All we got to do is make sure that we're placing the heal spells where we want, and you're going to have fully healed hogs going through this whole base. So at this point, trip to double bomb, hogs are already fully re-healed. They're in the perimeter of that heal spell. They take out the expo. They're going to start working their way around that upper clockwise direction around the perimeter. The Barb King at this point, he moves pretty slow, so we're not real worried about him. What we do worry about are these Skell Traps. These Skell Traps can take out your whole army. So if you hit a Skell Trap early in a attack, you might want to save for a second poison spell just to kill the Skell Traps. And this is a strategy I've done a little bit, and it's worked really, really well. Is instead of carrying 4 heals, you carry 3 heals and 3 poisons. Just to take care of Skell Traps and the Clan Castle troops. In this case, the 4 heals and the 1 poison ended up working just fine. Wonky does a good job, clearing those out. The rest of this is, it's cleanup at this point. So we're going to look at one of the other attacks that Wonky did on this on another base. This is a completely different layout. So on this other one, again, normally folks look at hog attacks and they're looking at a very compartmentalized, tight little space. This is the opposite. This is a big, wide open space, lots of areas for double bombs. But again, what I say about double bombs, we're not worried about those. We've got max hogs. As long as we place heal spells out there, it's going to fully heal the spells. We just have to hurry up and heal them before a crossbow or an extra splash effect takes them out. So the things that we're looking at, this is an example of where 4 heal spells could go. So again, not really worried about it. The things that will take out those troops, though, are the Clan Castle, the Archer Queen, and then kind of the Barb King. If there's a way to take him out, great. But otherwise, I really don't worry about him because he goes pretty slow. So because the heroes are both on the same side of this particular base, we're going to look at how to basically bring that Golem type attack or Witch attack from that lower left side. So it looks like there's the potential to go ahead and draw out the troops from that upper left side. It's just outside the radius of that Clan Castle, so Wonk gives it a go with a hog. It only pulls out a couple troops, doesn't do enough, and here's where you got to make a decision. Do another one or just go with it. He goes ahead and pulls another hog out. We can see that loom come out, which tells us it's the end of the Clan Castle troops. So at this point, we're going to look at how to start destroying those, and this is why we have that poison spell. So the troops are a little bit spread out, so we're not going to be able to get all of them. We know the loon doesn't get killed by the poison spell, so we're going to be looking at how to maximize just all those troops up there by that Wiz Tower, and then coming in here in a second with our Golem attack here on the lower side to take out that Archer Queen. So let me zoom in up here on the top. You'll see all these troops start getting zapped immediately by the poison, so these are some of those max Wizzes. I see some archers in there. At this point, there's still a Wiz and a loon, and unfortunately left a couple troops there that will sit there and just keep sniping the hogs. And you got to remember, hogs do not attack anybody until all those defensive structures are gone. They basically say, come and get me. So be real careful with your hogs. Don't just leave them out there to die. So here comes the main attack. We want to make sure we take out these 2 structures here, and this is important. Otherwise, your heroes could go on a field trip. We don't want field trips. We want to keep them nice and confined in the attack. So bring out the Golem, distract the Arch Queen, take out those first 2 structures, just a funnel. Keep those heroes funneled on the inside part of the attack. We really want to use them. So at this point, that Golem, we've taken out the Arch Queen, taken out a couple defensive structures right there, and here's where we get into another need a backup plan. So the first one is we didn't fully lure the Clan Castle troops up at the upper left. Now we didn't fully beat up or kill the Clan Castle troops with the set of units that went to go kill that Arch Queen. So not to worry, let it play out, don't worry about the time. This is something that where I see a lot of people make new mistakes is they start watching that clock and they just send all their troops out there, and next thing you know, all their hogs are dead. So be confident, wait for the Clan Castle troops to be fully destroyed, then go ahead and send your full wave of hogs. Here they trip double bombs again. You can see the hit points go down if they're not fully dead. So all we got to do is drop a heal spell, which is what Wonk does here up a little bit by where they're actually going to be in a minute. You always drop heal spells where hogs are going to be, not where they are. This immediately brings them up back to full life. That lower heal spell there in that lower quadrant really didn't need to happen. That was actually a little bit misplaced. He could have put that on that Wiz Tower where the hogs are right now. But it works out. So with 4 heal spells on this type of base, you're once that Arch Queen's gone, once the Clan Castle troops are gone, you have the bonus of getting that Barb King gone. I mean, this is pretty much a no-brainer at this point. It's going to clean up real nice. So again, when you're looking at bases, you need to look at what is going to kill your troops. Don't be afraid of big open bases or compartmentalized bases. Look for that opportunity on a Town Hall 9 to take out that Arch Queen. Town Hall 8's piece of cake. Town Hall 9's, you've got to take that Arch Queen out and the Clan Castle troops. Then be smart about, if you can take out the Barb King, that's a bonus. Otherwise, go with your attack, drop your heal spells, and you'll do just fine. Hey, this is Carr. I hope you got something out of this video. If you have any questions, please write them down, put up a statement. Here's some examples of where you can put those heal spells if you just have 3 and saving a couple poisons for those skeleton traps. Otherwise, if you do 4, you tend to do it like a 4-leaf clover, on the map. Lots of time, lots of space. Don't be pressured. Just make sure to do it after they trip a bomb or actually start losing heal points. Hey, you guys take care. 2.0.